ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host. Remember that, viewers, we go live from Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. nightly, and we run the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember that, Trinidad and Tobago. So there's a new president in Tutor. I guess they voted out Lumpkin because of his non-performance. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, to me, he didn't vote anything. Always complaining, but could never speak highly about getting something done. No, what did you do? Crystal Bevan Ash has been elected as the new president of Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, unseating incumbent Martin Lumpkin in election held on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. Ashi, representing the secondary schools inspectorate, secured 3,546 votes, well ahead of Lumpkin's 1,019. They still vote for Lumpkin? Other contenders include Randy Lal, Rajdev Mohan, and Raymond. All that. So trying to make...
We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you.
Welcome back.
Affairs. No, you all will be shocked. You all will be shocked. Former Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has received a major legal blow as the High Court has ordered full disclosure of these attorneys he hired and the legal fees paid in connection with the Paria diving tragedy, Commissioner of Inquiries. In a landmark ruling, Justice Joanne Charles condemned Dr. Rowley for withholding information and ruled that he breached the Freedom of Information Act. Is there a penalty? The court accepted arguments from activist Marsha Walker's attorney Anand Ramgoolam SC. Now, that Dr. Rowley's refusal to reveal the names and payment of lawyers was unlawful. Justice Charles said the former Prime Minister had a legal requirement to the court and dismissed his claims that disclosure could endanger the attorneys. The Office of the Prime Minister has been ordered to release the full list of names and payment within 7 days and pay Mrs. Walker legal costs. Dr. Rowley was represented by Russell Martinez, SC, while Mrs. Walker represented by Anand Ramlogan. So Trinidad and Tobago, those attorneys that Dr. Keith Rowley hired to defend Paria, did Dr. Rowley pay them from his pocket, his salary, his bank account, or is it the state that paid those lawyers with taxpayers' money? Now Trinidad and Tobago, where taxpayers' money is concerned, the public needs to know where that taxpayers' money went. I want to let you understand that. I really want to let you understand that. So when a government pays with taxpayers' money, the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago has every right to know how their tax money is being spent. You see the foolishness that the PNM government did to Trinidad and Tobago for 9 years? The citizens accepted it. The citizens accepted it. When I come here to tell all what all are supposed to know and what all are supposed to inquire from the government, and because Dr. Rowley is the Prime Minister, you all stood like stooge. Because of the fact that he's the Prime Minister. What he says goes. Really? All you supported a party that's supposed to do better to the country. Did you all get that betterment that you all was expecting? No. You know what he told all you? Let me remind you all what Dr. Rowley said. Dr. Rowley said, the citizens or the people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid. All remember that? All remember that? It's sad. So, I'll tell you something, I'll tell you something. I'm going to laugh at this. Why did Dr. Rowley step down before his time? Is it because of the Trump administration? Why did he step down before time? Oh, I'm going into retirement. We all know that. We all knew that. You made a public announcement. There's consequences, Trinidad and Tobago. There's consequences. But nevertheless, one thing I could tell you is what coming to them, they cannot run and hide. Trust me when I tell you that. Trust me when I tell you that. I've been on air for almost 9 years now, and nothing I said fall to the ground. Nothing. You all saw everything happen. So we're going to the Minister of Finance on the UNC side now, David Jonathan. And the Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development, Dr. Kennedy Saieed Singh, responding to questions from the business sector at the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce budget review event on Tuesday morning. Minister Tanku said, removing the tax on retirees' benefit from private pension fund is a savings mechanism. Listen to this.
We are trying to encourage a saving culture on behalf of everyone, because the more persons save, it's basic economics. The more you save, the more we have revenues to invest, and the more we stimulate the rest of the economy.
Minister Saieed Singh also participated in the discussion. Now, he added that the World Bank had been attempting to establish an office in Trinidad and Tobago for the past 3 years. The minister said the World Bank had been attempting to establish an office in Trinidad and Tobago for the past 3 years. He said it twice, so you all would understand. Listen to this.
I can safely say no, because it's before cabinet, that we are in the process of signing that establishment agreement with the World Bank to have them open an office here in Port of Spain. And that will do several things. It will give us access to expertise, but also for funding for private sector projects. I have an agency in the World Bank called MEGA, and they also give guarantees where government guarantees will not suffice, or government can't give guarantees. They will bring guarantees to those projects.
So Trinidad and Tobago, when I hear the word attempting to open for the last 3 years, I ask myself, so what is the red tape? I mean, we're talking about the World Bank. What in Trinidad for the last 3 years could have prevented the World Bank from opening an office here? What? What could be preventing them? Is it laws? Is it legislations? Was it the past government? Is it the present government? What exactly? Is it the courthouse? Is it the laws? What? What was preventing them? 3 years. We're talking about the World Bank. We ain't talking about a bank from Ghana. We ain't talking about a bank from St. Vincent. We ain't talking about a bank from China or India. We are talking about a World Bank. Not no minor thing. What could be preventing them from coming? At Trinidad and Tobago, it's sad, when I hear the word World Bank attempting for 3 years. What does that tell you? First, we want to know, what is the law of the land? What is the rule? What is the regulation? What is the red tape? 3 years. It's sad, 3 years. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Nevertheless, I want to hear what Dr. Rowley had to say now. What comment Dr. Rowley going to use now? Now that the court has ordered him. But then again, the PNM administration is no longer in power. So the Prime Minister's office presently now is Kamla Prasad Bisasa. So I want to see who on the list. I want to see who got all these taxpayers' money. Keep in mind, the diver's family hasn't received a cent yet, Keep that in mind. But I want to see how much millions of taxpayers' money went to the lawyer. I want to see the figures. The 5-digit, the 6-digit, the 7-digit. Keep in mind, the diver's family ain't received no money yet. But did these lawyers, did they already got paid by the state? Now that's a tricky question. Did they work on commission? So this is what we want to find out now. Keep in mind, the diver's family were promised $1 million. So I want to see how much millions these attorneys get from taxpayers' money. And then we go do the maths. Yeah? Good. So trying to make up, we have for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Opposition Leader Beckles on the 2026 budget, fake and fraudulent. Hey, who talking about fake and fraudulent? More when we return.
We'll be right back.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So Opposition Leader Penelope Beckles has labeled the 2026 budget fake and fraudulent, accusing the government of misleading the population and continue its election campaign months after the April 28th general election. She slammed the government, saying was trying to portray itself as having achieved success in a few months without acknowledging the groundwork laid by the PNM administration. Penelope.
The opposition is of the view that this budget is fake and fraudulent. This government clearly is still in a campaign mood, and we're giving the impression that over the last couple of months that they have been in office, that they have performed exceptionally well, not giving credit at all to the policies, programs, of the People's National Movement, which clearly they continued in many cases. If I could give a simple example, in talking about vehicles for the fire services and the breathing apparatus, those allocations were all made during the term of office of the People's National Movement.
But the truth is that this attempt is strictly to mama guy the public.
I'm listening and I am amazed. The only thing we got from the PNM administration in the last 9 years was tighten your belt. Other than that, schools, problem. Police, problem. Health sector, problem. The roads, problem. Government office, problems. And lots more. Agriculture, abandoned. Imagine that. Health, security, and education, the main three things in Trinidad and Tobago or in any other country, dilapidated in Trinidad and Tobago. And I will leave it right there. I'll stick a pin on it for now. Beckles also criticized the introduction of a one-time landlord business surcharge, saying the measures was described or disgusted or disguised version of a property tax that would inevitable be passed on to tenants. So I want to ask Penelope something concerning the same property tax, right? But listen this before I ask her this question. She questioned what had become of more than 130 million in property tax already collected and asked how the government planned to fund its promise 10% increase for public servant. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to Penelope. We have time to talk after.
And for the period 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. It is very clear that they are misleading the public by giving the impression that they are giving this 10% over a 3-year period, and it is really a 6-year period. So when you go through the entire budget, you would see where they are misleading the public.
So plenty talk about misleading the public, right? Okay, hold on. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, you're live, my friend.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, you're live.
Nice. Well, sir, I have called to bring to the attention of the nation a very appalling situation. So I'm a safety officer employed with the Ministry of Education.
Okay.
I work at a school in Port of Spain. I wouldn't name the school, I wouldn't name any individuals involved. But sir, it is one of the most decrepit situations I've ever experienced from an adult. So there was a 42-year-old female adult came into the school compound with a grievance. The grievance is so diminutive, meaning it is in regards to children. You know, when children say things, children say things.
All right, yes.
Apparently another child made a comment about her daughter's hairstyle without even informing us of her grievance, whatever it was. She came into the school, sat there, and when we tried to get everybody together, and the other students in question walked into the school's administrative office, this 42-year-old female adult pounced on 2 young female students and attacked them.
She attacked them?
Yes, sir. She, and I have the video footage. She attacked them. A visiting parent saw the attack and tried to restrain the said individual before I entered the room, sir. And let me tell you where it gets worse. When I entered the room, the 42-year-old female still wanted to carry her attack because she was using a lot of boisterous, threatening language. I will unalive them. I will unalive them.
Okay, so you are the safety officer in the school?
Yes, sir. So when I restrained her, she bit me on my right forearm, bit me me on my right side of my face, on my cheek, and head-butted me,
Wow.
with her entire body weight, and head-butted me in the face, busting my mouth open. And blood was streaming down my face. At that point, I released her because I had to attend to myself.
Yes,
But
yes.
what is even more alarming in this, do you know, as a man, had I made any sort of physical response, it probably could have turned out different to me. So
True.
I was able to compose myself even though I was assaulted. But what is even more sad is that this parent is apparently a serving member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And in the light of school violence, with the initiative
She's a
by
police?
the police service to curb school violence, here you have a female parent/police officer coming into the nation's school to attack young school children and also officials. I have made my report.
Okay, good.
I have been following up on my matter, and today I have had a conversation with two senior superintendents who said that yes, this matter is going to be addressed because I'm not leaving it like that, sir.
Nice, nice. So, you are a safety officer in the school?
Yes, sir.
And the parents attacked you?
Yes, trying to restrain her from fighting school
That's
children.
ridiculous. That's madness.
And she's a police officer.
So I want to ask this question. Is there any police officer that has been posted to this particular school?
No, there's no designated police officer at that school that I am employed.
Okay, I understand. My friend, thank you so much for highlighting the matter.
Yes, Mr. Ali. Thank you so much. Keep it up.
So hold 1 minute. I just want to correct something. The woman who attacked you, is she a police officer?
Well, sir, let me send it home for you. When the responding police officers, when I contacted the police myself, the police officer saw her and said, well, oh God, I'm going home next year. I can't handle all this work. And them young police are working, so I can't handle it. So I was wondering what was going on. She walked out of the office and called the officer by name and said, when you're ready, call me. Walked off.
What did she?
That's how crazy it is. It's comical also. I know you could laugh.
It's a serious thing, but oh my God.
But so you wouldn't laugh if you get a headbutt to the face from someone, especially when they threw their hole or they get behind it. But I hope you could commend me as a man. I restrained myself
to prevent any.
Being a professional.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand that fully. My boy, my friend, what I would like to advise you to do is talk to the principal in the school and see if you all could get some sort of police help or send a letter to the ministry requesting police officers to be present at the school, like officers who have been posted in other schools. See if you all can get that in the school.
I hear what you're saying.
For safety, my friend, thank you so much, and I hope everything works out for you.
Have a good evening, everyone. All right, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Ray boy, that is bacchanal. Hey, what you know? Me being a safety officer in a school and a parent attacked me. Trust me, that's a different story, you know. I'm telling you, that's like you attacking a police officer who guarding the children, you know. Trust me, it's a different story. I hear protecting children of the school, and you as a parent want to come inside the school and attack me, now you're making a mistake. You're getting the full blunt of the law. Take what I'm telling you. My job is to protect inside the school. Yours is to ambush me inside the school. Now you get the full blunt of the law. You could do what you want. Call a good night.
Mr. Said, great program as usual from a great soul. And very sadly where we are hearing what that gentleman just expressed to you
it's
as
sad.
the citizen of this country, the nation. I must say I attended 3 pre-budget consultations. And the sentiments and the input from many people who were there, almost the same, modified differently and so on. And one of the key things was school violence, how they're going to deal with it,
Correct.
what they're going to do about it. The second one, which is a very burning issue is noise pollution in this country from bars and vehicles and things. In the budget, you heard nothing about it. Not one single thing, but they increased the penalty for driving under the influence, which I don't support anyway, to $15,000 and reckless driving to, $5,000. What about the people on the shoulder? Every morning you're going to Forest Bend and traveling and see these vehicles. You're going up the road.
Correct.
Pass you on the shoulder. That is so scary and frightening. And that penalty, they should increase that penalty to $2,500 or $3,000. So and you have to catch some of them and put it on all the media. And another thing, what from like the pre-budget consultation, I think today many people who was at that consultation, they can confirm that to be a politician in this country, you have to be a crook, you have to be a scam, you have to be a thief and a notorious liar. Because that how you call it, you just spoke about it a while ago, the pension. If you play back the tape, you will hear what the Prime Minister said on the platform.
Yes.
You work all through your life and you pay taxes, you will not pay no taxes anymore on your pension. So now they put a spin on it, modify it, and take the citizen for fool, they turn it now to private pension. Well, you will understand that because you have a business, you have your
yes.
your business and so on. So you will understand what they mean by private pension. So the public servant and them who contribute to a pension, they're not going to benefit from that. They have to continue paying pension, although they contributed to a pension fund, So you see these politicians, I don't know, we have to come up with something different for these politicians. But anyway, we go wait until 2030 because they are doing nothing. And you have Minister of Finance, Taco is telling this, resist any increase in prices. How the citizen going to do that? How you going to resist it? You're supposed to take that action from your budget. That it must not trickle down to the citizen. But look, gas price, the 100 pounds going up by about $50, right? So what is going to happen to restaurants that using 1 tank a week or 2 tanks per week? That's going down to the citizen. So they give us no pie here or nice budget to make us feel better. Mr. Said, you keep up this great work you're doing, man. God will richly bless you. You is the finance minister in this country, man. Take care. God bless.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, Beckles accused the government of taking credit for water project funded by an Inter-American Development Bank loan secured by the PNM. Listen to this.
Before, where is the allocation for that 10%? And for the period 2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. It is very clear that they are misleading the public by giving the impression that they are giving this 10% over a 3-year period, and it is really a 6-year period. So when you go through the entire budget, you would see where they are misleading the public.
So Trinidad and Tobago, on new taxes, Beckles said, you're giving with one hand and you're taking away with the other. Wait. Beckles say that? Beckles was sleeping. Was Beckles sleeping when Clongenberg presented the 2024-2025 budget? Was Beckles sleeping? Beckles, you get up? Get up. Go back to 2024-2025 budget when Clongenberg was presenting it, and then come and talk about you giving with one hand and you taking with the next hand. No, Beckles, I wouldn't allow that. Me, I wouldn't allow that. I will put you in your place being the opposition leader. I will. Trust me, I will. So Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of people complain about the reduction in the gas price. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you about me. Every month, right, when I calculate it, the reduction of $1, when I calculate it for myself, I save in $1,000. Right? $1,000. For the year, it's $12,000 Saieed is saving. Good? Now, Clongenbert raised the gas price 3 times. 3 times. So now I am saving 1,000 per month from the 3,000 that was added on to my gas bill. You understand what I'm saying? So when the $3 increase over the 3 budget, I was paying $3,000 more in gas. $3,000 more. Now, Tanco take off $1. I am still putting the $2,000 more that Clongenbert introduced, and I am saving 1,000 more from the 3,000. So when people say them are saving on gas, let me tell you something, better you bite a stone than to say that. Because everybody who is driving a vehicle and uses super, they will be saving. You know what they'll be saving? Maybe the same thing or more than what I am saving. So I don't want to hear nobody say, oh, $1 in gas, when Clongenbert raised it 3 times, I didn't hear earlier. You was complaining. Oh, he raised it again, he raised it again, he raised it again. No, all I got a reduction, all I still complaining. It's sad. It's sad. But I'll go to the pump. Hey, you know what I should start to do now? They should start to make the pump now, one side UNC, one side PNM. One side selling $5 and one side selling $6. So the one who complaining, go and pay $6. And the one who not complaining, and glad to save $1 on every liter, go on the $5 side. Let me tell you something. We so accustomed being treated like dog on the street. If somebody take out the dog from the street and put them in a nice solid area and shampoo them up and clean them up and give them food, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? We so accustomed eating boulders. You know, if we get cheese in my mouth, we wouldn't even know. You're complaining, you're complaining. It has flood, you're complaining. It ain't no flood, you're still complaining. I'm sure I get about this year, they tell you $4 and $5 now. Let me hear what I say. You're going to say, great is the PNM. So I, Trinidad and Tobago, I am thankful that I am saving $1,000 in gas. For the year, you know what you're saving? $12,000. $12,000 is a projected amount I am saving. Let me tell you something. If Oli ain't happy to save that $1, I am damn happy to save it. So you all could continue quarreling and saying, oh, it's only $1, it's $1, and look for the gas station. Look for the gas station that ain't take off the $1 from the liter and go right there. Go right there. So Trinidad and Tobago, before we go on this break, I'm looking for Chandradat Dani Ramdas. This is what I'm looking for. You have a picture there? Chandradat Dani Ramdas. Last known address 42 Castle Field in Shogunas. Now, public vehicle. This has nothing to do with Real Talk Financing or Real Talk Credit Union, right? This vehicle has been sold and the person wants to transfer the vehicle on their name. So Danny, anybody know Danny or know the vehicle? Could you please get in touch with Saeed? I will give you the relevant numbers to call the individual to transfer the vehicle. Again, Danny, I want you to understand something. It is illegal to sell a vehicle and transfer it. It is illegal. So know what you're doing, my friend. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, budget ensures fairness and accountability. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed. You're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, there is a lot of debate that is still going on. There's a lot of breakdown to be published in the public domain as yet, but already people start to condemn, oh, it's a fake budget, the budget is good, we could have do without this budget. No. I tell you, shut your mouth, rock back and relax. I tell you that. Shut your mouth, rock back and relax. Wait till the budget is in the final stage of debate and you will know the exact figures of how we are going to move forward with for the next 4 years. Why you think I ain't debated much about the budget as yet? Because there's a lot to come down. There's a lot to debate. There are final figures. There's the dollars and the cents to be thrown out still in the public domain. So people, let me tell you something. We're waiting on yam from Ghana and we ain't get it yet. How many millions of dollars taxpayers were invested in that? Only studying that. Only studying Stuart Young and Dr. Keith Rowley could have gotten Trinidad and Tobago sanctioned. Only studying that. Only studying $1 million were taken off from Trinidad and given to Venezuela, Maduro. Only studying that. You know what I'm studying? Oh, it's only $1 on the gas. My clown about raise it 3 times. Or let's zip all them out. So I telling all you on national television, shut your mouth, rock back and relax and wait. Don't be biased. Don't be fools of tomorrow. Don't. Listen. Pay attention to what is coming. Pay attention. You see, we in Trinidad, you know what we're quick to do? We're quick to do this. We're quick to do this. Contractors getting millions of dollars to fix road. Could you drive on the road comfortable? Ask yourself that as citizen. I've seen that this new administration taken into consideration security, health, and education. 3 priority. And I am waiting for it to trickle down for me to understand the dollars and the cents where it's going. You see me bashing? No, I'm not bashing. I am waiting patiently for it. What you all had to say when Terrence Yelsing opened my hospital and incomplete? What you all had to say when Keith Rowley opened the airport in Tobago? Incomplete. You all had nothing to say. Imagine your neighbor bringing a bag of doubles for you. The bag looking hefty with doubles, eh? But when you come now and you open the bag, now it has nothing in the bag. You really thought you was getting something nice, eh? That's what we get with the hospital and the airport. That is what we got. A front with no production on the inside. So relax. Relax. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has hailed the 2025-2026 fiscal package as one that is people-centered as it puts TNT first and ensure fairness and accountability. She highlighted the move to reduce the price of super gasoline as one such measure that will bring benefit to citizens and put money directly in the hands of citizens. Listen to this.
This is a direct measure to ease the burden on working families and small businesses. And what it means, I got a summary of how many liters of supergas sold at the pump for the year 2024. And the liters were 457,165,211 liters. You know what that means? Immediately, with this price reduction, $500 million will remain in the pockets of persons who drive cars. Almost $500 million that persons can now use to provide better for their families, to help their children, their school supplies, whatever care they need to give. You have $500 million back into your pocket.
The PM said, national prosperity must benefit all and not just a few, and the budget reflects this commitment to fiscal discipline and fairness. Addressing misconception on formalizing the rental sector, the PM explained that the proposed landlord surcharge is not a property tax, but an accountability measures aimed at landlords. Kamala.
This is where we are putting a surcharge on people who are making income, earning income from their properties. So, for example, it's not on residential properties, understand, but if you take your property and you're renting it, but then you're breaking the law by not paying taxes, because that is income. It's a commercial enterprise. You're making income, and by law, you should be paying taxes. But if for too long in the system, these persons were allowed to get away with it. You know, some of them don't even live in Trinidad, but they own 5 houses in Trinidad or in Tobago, and they're renting it out, collecting income, but paying no taxes. So everybody there must be a sharing of the burdens as well as the wealth of the country. And this is one way they will contribute to our coffers with the revenue, and at the same time, we can account. This is the accountability measure.
So trying to make, remember when Clongenbert impose a fine on your residential property, he labeled it as annual rental value. Your private property, your residential house, your house that you took a loan to build, Clongenbert forcefully, or I should say this, force a tax on you as an annual rental value. You renting your residential house? No. That's the house you're living in. But Clongenbert is telling you a rental value of your house that you have to pay. You renting your house and collecting a rent? No side, I ain't doing that, but Clongenbert is telling you that. Clongenbert is telling you something that you're not doing. Oh, hold on. What did he do? He passed a legislation before he brought out this, that those who have multi-story dwelling apartments that rent it out, you all be tax-free. Who fall in that bracket? Clongenbert. Who have to pay taxes? Only who own residential house have to pay taxes. To chop it off, if you refuse to pay that money, what you do after? Pass a legislation again to make it a criminal offense if you don't pay the annual rental value of your residential property. Imagine that, eh? How you call that? That was being bullied. Bullied. Imagine you being bullied about your own house. Your own house that you're renting out. Your own house you're paying a loan for. Your house that you and your children dwelling in and the grandchildren just come and sit down and relax. Imagine that, eh? Rental, commercial building now have to pay property tax. Why? They are earning an income. They're renting their building. You renting your house? Your private house? No. You see? This is what people getting tied up with. This is what people getting tied up with. But as it comes along, I will explain it to you. I will break it down. Now Trinidad and Tobago. Brian Manning sought to hit back against landlord tax, saying that it was the same property. How are you going to be the same property tax, Brian? There's a difference between a residential and a commercial. Only force people to pay property tax on their residential home. I don't rent out my residential home, but according to Clongenbird, I'm renting it out. Clongenbird is sitting in a bench in my house 24 hours for the day, 30 days for the month to see I renting it out. You understand? But Brian wants to tell me now that it's the same property tax. So Brian, let me ask you something. A commercial building and a residential building, is it the same building? You want to buy a building for millions. Was that a commercial building or a residential building, Brian? Why don't you come out and explain it to Trinidad and Tobago, the difference between a residential building and a commercial building, and then differentiate now the tax on the residential building and the commercial building. Long ago, people were stupid, Brian. Long ago. The ones that didn't have the education long ago, a lot of them had common sense. A lot of them. Brian, we're in the 21st century. Remember that. We are in the 21st century. Listen to what Brian said.
The minister did not go into any detail about revenue generation. All he did was speak about various new taxes that they were going to implement. The tax on landlords is simply property tax by another name. The same tax that they've been criticizing for the past 20 years is exactly the same tax that they brought into being on this occasion. So at a higher rate than was proposed previously. So it is extremely deceptive. They cancel the TTRA. They cancel all of these revenue projects. Now all of a sudden they're trying to claim the Dragon Deal as their own. They have spent the past 20 years in this country attempting to undermine every single revenue generating project formed by the People's National Movement.
I wasn't expecting Brian to talk about property tax or tax. You see the short man, the red short man next to him? So why Clongenbird didn't talk about that? Why Clongenbird, the former Minister of Finance, didn't talk about taxes? He stood there and he listened to what Brian had to say. And never even interjected. He knew he would have get licks for that. He knew he would have gotten licks for that. Because that was the same short man that telling you, you renting your property when that is the house where you and your family dwelling in, where you're paying a loan on. Why Clongenbird didn't jump up and talk about tax? Brian said all they're doing is bringing on taxes. And what Clongenbird did for 9 years? We are picking side, you know. I am picking no UNC, I am picking no PNM. I'm telling all of the facts that happened in Trinidad and Tobago for 9 years. For 9 years. Imagine. Let me just throw back something on the gas. Imagine this. You're spending $3,000 in gas for the month. Right? That is the 3 times Clongenbird raise the gas. You're spending $3,000. Now you get a chance to save $1,000 from that to carry out your family. As Marvin Marvel said, only one time for the month you're carrying them out. Kamala puts it in a way now that with the extra $1,000 you're saving, that Clongenbird force you to pay. Now you could carry out your family 2 times for the month. You know, they're still complaining. Or they're still complaining. Oh, it's only $1 she take off. And really? PNM should have win. And let him put $4 and $5 on it now. What would I say? You can't satisfy everybody. Imagine you saving $1,000 a month projected. Right? $1,000 a month going back in grocery. $1,000 a month going for your child education. $1,000 a month you're putting in the bank for rainy days. But oh, only $1? That's 1,000 you didn't have. But we as Trinidadian, we ungrateful. You know what we shouldn't have? We shouldn't save the 1,000. And do like what Marvelous Marvin said, carry out your children one time for the month. Some of you may not even able to carry them out. Marvelous Marvin got 40%, while all get 4% and say, oh God, thank God. It's saddened. That's the reality. That's why I have somebody like me here. For you to listen and understand and see what's taking place. No wonder that this is why I just tell all you I don't need all your ad to run the program. God making sure that He bless Saieed to run the program to open all your eye. Why? Without a vision, my people perish. Without a vision, my people will perish. So in one cases, you then had $1,000. With immediate effect, every month, you're saving $1,000 now. You're saving $1,000 now. Imagine that, eh? Taxi drivers now will save every month now. Every month. Hopefully in the coming weeks, what I am hoping to see is an adjustment on the diesel price. This is what I am expecting in the coming months. With the review that is taking place, the present administration would understand that yes, we dropped the diesel by the gas by $1. Now we need to make an adjustment. An adjustment with the diesel price. So the diesel vehicle that is transporting passengers would cut down their price. The transport of product and produce from point A to point B will drop. Technically, Trinidad and Tobago, in the groceries, you might get $1 drop on some item. You might get a 50-cent drop on some item. Now 50 cent by 50 cent by 50 cent, all that is savings, you know. For the people who know how to save, that is savings. And for the people who do not understand the maths, you know what they're going to say? Blah, 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 blah. That's what they're going to say. And that's what we are accustomed with. As I say, we are accustomed being treated like a dog on the street. So when you got a piece of cake, or somebody take you up and decide to give you a little shower, you cannot understand that. Why? Because you cannot understand the goodness. Trying to make a time it goes so fast when you're explaining certain things to people. Nevertheless, this whole week will be budget review, and this whole week I am going to bring to you breakdowns of how you can save. We didn't saving before, you're saving now. So viewers, until then, be safe, enjoy the night.